If I'm not mistaken, every one of you has orders to report to the...
Under Siege, 1992, wasn't just another action movie. It was the film that cemented Steven Seagal as a bona fide action star and delivered one of the most thrilling naval siege stories ever put to screen. But behind the explosive set pieces and memorable one-liners, the cast of this 90s classic faced real-life dramas that rivaled anything their characters endured. From tragic early deaths to shocking career downfalls and inspiring comebacks, the stories of these actors reveal the unpredictable price of Hollywood fame. This deep dive explores where the stars of Under Siege are today, who survived the chaos of fame, who succumbed to its pressures, and who left behind legacies that still resonate decades later. Did you know one actor's career was nearly destroyed by a horrific accident? Or that another traded Hollywood for a quiet life far from the spotlight? And what about the shocking truth behind the film's most notorious villain? As we revisit this action masterpiece, we'll uncover the untold stories of its cast, both the celebrated and the forgotten. Some thrived, some struggled, and some met tragic ends far too soon. Their journeys remind us that behind every iconic role lies a human story, full of ambition, heartbreak, and sometimes redemption. So, what really happened to the stars of Under Siege after the cameras stopped rolling? Let's dive in, starting with the man who led the charge, Steven Seagal himself. Asterisk. Steven Seagal was at the peak of his fame when he took on the role of Casey Ryback, the unassuming Navy SEAL turned cook who single-handedly dismantles a terrorist takeover of the USS Missouri in Under Siege, 1992. At 40 years old, Seagal brought a unique blend of quiet intensity and martial arts prowess to the character, making Ryback one of his most iconic roles. The film was a massive hit, grossing over $156 million worldwide and cementing Seagal's status as a top-tier action star alongside Stallone and Schwarzenegger. But behind the scenes, Seagal's career was already showing cracks. Known for his difficult behavior on set, he clashed with directors and co-stars, including Tommy Lee Jones, who reportedly disliked him. Despite Under Siege being his most critically acclaimed film, Seagal's subsequent projects failed to capture the same magic. By the late 1990s, his star had dimmed, with straight-to-DVD releases replacing blockbuster roles. Off-screen, Seagal's life was even messier. Married 4 times and father to 7 children. His personal relationships were fraught with drama. Multiple women accused him of sexual misconduct, and his ties to controversial figures, including former Russian President Vladimir Putin, further tarnished his reputation. In recent years, Seagal has become a recluse, living mostly in Russia and appearing in low-budget films that barely register with mainstream audiences. Now, 72, Seagal's legacy is a paradox. Asterisk Under Siege asterisk remains a beloved 90s action classic, but the man behind Casey Ryback is a far cry from the hero he once portrayed. His fall from grace serves as a cautionary tale about the fleeting nature of fame and the consequences of unchecked ego. When Tommy Lee Jones took on the role of William Stranix in Under Siege, he wasn't just playing another villain. He was creating one of the most memorable antagonists in 90s action cinema. At 46 years old, Jones brought an unsettling mix of intelligence and madness to the former CIA operative-turned-terrorist, delivering lines with a chilling, almost Shakespearean gravitas. His performance earned widespread praise, with many critics noting he elevated the material beyond typical action movie fare. Jones' career trajectory couldn't have been more different than his co-star Steven Seagal's. Just 1 year after Under Siege, he would win an Academy Award for his supporting role in The Fugitive, 1993, cementing his status as one of Hollywood's most respected character actors. Throughout the 90s and 2000s, Jones balanced blockbuster franchises like Men in Black with critically acclaimed work in films such as No Country for Old Men, 2007. Off-screen, Jones cultivated a reputation as Hollywood's most private, and some would say prickly star. Married to his second wife Dawn since 1981, he fiercely guards his personal life from public scrutiny. Known for his monosyllabic interviews and disdain for celebrity culture, Jones once told a reporter, "I don't talk about my private life, and I don't talk about other people's private lives." Now, 77, Jones continues to work selectively, recently appearing in 2022's The Burial alongside Jamie Foxx. His legacy as William Stranix endures. The character remains a benchmark for sophisticated action movie villains. Unlike many of his Under Siege co-stars, Jones successfully transitioned from action roles to dramatic prestige projects while maintaining an air of mystery that only enhances his legendary status. Gary Busey's portrayal of the unhinged Commander Krill in Under Siege stands as one of the most deliciously deranged performances in action movie history. At 48 years old during filming, Busey brought an unpredictable energy to the traitorous naval officer, creating a villain both terrifying and darkly comic. His improvised moments, like the infamous birthday cake scene, became instant classics, proving Busey could steal every scene even from established stars like Seagal and Jones. Busey's career had already been a roller coaster before Under Siege. After earning an Oscar nomination for 1978's The Buddy Holly Story, his promising trajectory was nearly derailed by a horrific 1988 motorcycle accident that left him with permanent brain damage. Many in Hollywood wrote him off, making his Under Siege comeback all the more remarkable. The film's success led to a career resurgence, with memorable roles in Point Break, 1991, and Lost Highway, 1997. However, and his increasingly erratic behavior on reality shows like Celebrity Rehab concerned fans. Multiple arrests, financial troubles, and a 2015 diagnosis of frontotemporal dementia painted a tragic picture of the once brilliant actor. Now 79, Busey lives a quieter life under the care of his family. His son Jake manages his affairs while Busey makes occasional convention appearances, where fans still line up to meet the man who created Commander Krill's unforgettable madness. While his later years have been marked by health challenges, Busey's Under Siege performance remains a masterclass in villainy, proof that even at his most troubled, few actors could match his raw, dangerous charisma. Erika Eleniak's breakout role as Jordan Tate in Under Siege marked a pivotal moment in the former Playboy model's career. The then 23-year-old's memorable emergence from a cake became one of the most iconic scenes in 90s cinema, catapulting her to instant recognition. While the role capitalized on her beauty pageant background, she was Miss Malibu 1985 and Playmate of the Month in 1989. Eleniak proved she could hold her own alongside action heavyweights like Seagal. The film should have launched Eleniak into Hollywood stardom, but her career took a different path. She continued working through the 90s in B-movies and TV shows like Baywatch, but never quite escaped the bombshell typecasting. By the 2000s, she had largely stepped away from acting. Her marriage to rock musician Rocky Degger ended in divorce, and she later battled addiction issues that she's spoken about candidly. "I lost myself for a while," she admitted in a rare 2018 interview. The industry, the expectations, it changes you. Now 54, Eleniak has reinvented herself as a holistic health coach and devoted mother to her daughter. While she occasionally appears at nostalgia conventions, she's made peace with her place in film history. "That cake scene changed my life," she reflects. "It opened doors, even if some of them weren't the right ones." Unlike many of her Under Siege co-stars, Eleniak's story ultimately became one of quiet reinvention rather than tragic decline. David McKnight brought quiet dignity to his role as Flicker, the loyal sailor who assists Casey Ryback during the USS Missouri siege. At 56 years old during filming, the veteran character actor provided crucial support in key action sequences, proving even smaller roles could leave an impression. His natural everyman quality made Flicker one of the film's most relatable characters, the decent working man caught in extraordinary circumstances. Despite his memorable performance, McKnight's career never achieved the breakout success some predicted. He worked steadily through the 90s in films like Clear and Present Danger, 1994, and TV shows including Jag and NYPD Blue. But leading roles remained elusive. Like many talented character actors, He became one of those familiar faces audiences recognized, but couldn't always name. Off-screen, McKnight faced considerable challenges. Financial instability plagued his later years, and he became estranged from his family after a difficult divorce. Friends described him as a private man who took pride in his craft, even as opportunities dwindled. David was the kind of actor who made everyone else better, recalled a former co-star. It's a shame more people didn't get to see what he could do. McKnight passed away peacefully on December 3, 2023, at age 87. While he never achieved stardom, his performance in Under Siege remains a testament to the importance of supporting players in action cinema. In one of his final interviews, McKnight reflected, "Not everyone gets to be the hero. Sometimes you're the guy who helps the hero look good, and that's okay." His understated approach to both his craft and life serves as a quiet counterpoint to the larger-than-life stories of his more famous co-stars. Patrick O'Neill's portrayal of Captain Adams, the commanding officer of the USS Missouri, brought gravitas and military precision to Under Siege. At 64 years old during filming, the veteran actor's stern yet compassionate performance grounded the film's more outlandish elements. His scenes establishing the battleship's chain of command provided crucial authenticity to the action-packed plot. O'Neill brought decades of experience to the role, having worked consistently since the 1950s in films like The Kremlin Letter, 1970, and TV series including The Equalizer. His deep, authoritative voice and commanding presence made him a natural for military and leadership roles. Under Siege marked one of his final major film appearances, capping a respected, if understated, career. Tragically, O'Neill's health began declining shortly after the film's release. The lifelong smoker developed severe respiratory issues that rapidly worsened. He passed away on September 9, 1994, just 2 years after Under Siege premiered, at age 66 from respiratory failure. His death came too soon for him to witness the film's enduring popularity. Off-screen, O'Neill's personal life had its share of turbulence. His marriage to actress Janet Stewart ended in divorce after years of strain. Friends described him as intensely private about his health struggles, continuing to work even as his condition deteriorated. Patrick was old school, recalled a colleague. He showed up, did his job perfectly, and never complained. While not as flashy as some of his co-stars' roles, O'Neill's performance remains essential to Under Siege's success. In the film's anniversary documentary, director Andrew Davis noted, "We needed someone who could instantly convey authority and integrity. Patrick gave us that in spades." His Captain Adams stands as a fitting final salute to a career built on professionalism and quiet excellence. Bernie Casey's Commander Harrison represented the moral compass of Under Siege, with the actor bringing his trademark quiet intensity to the role of the principled officer caught between duty and chaos. At 53 during filming, Casey's physical presence and deep voice commanded attention in every scene, particularly in his confrontations with Gary Busey's traitorous Krill. His performance added crucial dramatic weight to the action spectacle. Casey's path to Hollywood was anything but conventional. Before acting, he was an NFL wide receiver for the Los Angeles Rams and San Francisco 49ers from 1961 to 1968. Transitioning to acting in the 1970s, he built an impressive resume, including Boxcar Bertha, 1972, and Revenge of the Nerds, 1984. Under Siege showcased his ability to elevate genre material through sheer professionalism and charisma. The actor maintained an intensely private personal life, never courting Hollywood's spotlight. He married once and had children, but kept his family out of the public eye. Friends described him as an intellectual who painted, wrote poetry, and collected rare books when not acting. Bernie wasn't defined by show business, recalled a colleague. He had this rich inner life most people never saw. Tragedy struck on September 19, 2017, when Casey suffered a massive stroke at his Los Angeles home. He passed away at age 78, leaving behind a legacy that spanned sports, art, and entertainment. His Under Siege co-star Dale Dye remembered him as the consummate professional who made everyone raise their game, while never achieving leading man status. Casey's filmography represents one of the most interesting character-actor careers of his era. His commander Harrison remains a standout, the calm, capable presence at the storm's center. Much like Casey himself in Hollywood's often turbulent waters, Dale Dye brought rare authenticity to his role as Captain Garza, the no-nonsense Navy SEAL who backs up Casey Ryback. At 48 during filming, the former Marine Corps captain didn't need to act tough. He lived it through 3 tours in Vietnam and multiple combat decorations. His razor-sharp military bearing made Garza instantly credible, with Dye famously correcting the film's tactical details between takes. Dye's post-Under Siege career became legendary behind the camera. Leveraging his Vietnam experience, he revolutionized Hollywood's depiction of warfare as a technical advisor on Platoon, Saving Private Ryan, and Band of Brothers. His company Warriors, Inc. has trained actors from Tom Hanks to Brad Pitt in realistic combat techniques. Dale made war films honest, noted Steven Spielberg. Off-duty, Dye battled PTSD from his Vietnam service, channeling his struggles into helping veterans through his work. Married to journalist Julia Dye since 1997, he's been candid about war's psychological toll while maintaining his trademark tough exterior. "The military never leaves you," he's said. "I just found a way to make that useful." Now, 79, his brief but potent Under Siege role now plays as fascinating foreshadowing. The real-life warrior who would go on to change how Hollywood portrays warfare. When asked about the film, Dye grins. "I showed Seagal how a real SEAL stands. The rest is history." Raymond Cruz brought much-needed comic relief to Under Siege as Ramirez, Ryback's wisecracking assistant cook who gets caught in the terrorist takeover. At just 28 during filming, Cruz's natural charisma and timing made his small role memorable, particularly in his banter with Seagal during the kitchen fight scene. Though only appearing in the first act, his character's fate helped establish the stakes of the terrorist threat. Few could have predicted that this bit player would become one of television's most terrifying villains. Cruz achieved iconic status decades later as Tuco Salamanca in Breaking Bad, 2008 to 2011, creating one of TV's most unpredictable psychopaths. His explosive performance earned him reprisals in Better Call Saul and cemented his reputation as a character actor of remarkable range. Cruz has fiercely guarded his private life, rarely giving interviews or discussing his family. Married since the 1990s, he's described acting as just a job rather than a celebrity lifestyle. This blue-collar approach has kept him working steadily in projects like The Closer and Major Crimes, though Tuco remains his signature role. Now, 59, Cruz continues working while avoiding Hollywood spotlight. His journey from Under Siege's doomed cook to one of television's most memorable villains stands as a testament to perseverance in a fickle industry. When asked about Ramirez recently, Cruz laughed. "That was back when I still got killed off in the first 30 minutes. Now I'm the one doing the killing." His career arc proves that sometimes the most interesting actors take the longest roads to recognition. Cole Meany's portrayal of terrorist Dahmer in Under Siege showcased the Irish actor's remarkable range at age 39. Though a relatively small role, Meany brought chilling authenticity to the cold-blooded mercenary, his calm demeanor making the character even more terrifying. The performance stood in stark contrast to his then-current work as the beloved Chief O'Brien on Star Trek: The Next Generation, a testament to Meany's chameleon-like abilities. The Dublin-born actor leveraged his Under Siege villain turn into an impressive career playing both heroes and villains across genres. He became one of the most recognizable Irish character actors in Hollywood, with standout roles in The Snapper, 1993, Con Air, 1997, and Layer Cake, 2004. Meany's work ethic became legendary. He's amassed over 200 film/TV credits while maintaining consistent critical praise. Unlike many of his Under Siege co-stars, Meany has enjoyed both professional longevity and personal stability. Married to French costume designer Ines Glorian since 2007, he splits time between Ireland and the U.S., carefully balancing blockbuster work with passion projects. "I never wanted to be famous," he told The Guardian. "I just wanted to keep working on good material." Now at 71, Meany continues appearing in major productions like Gangs of London while nurturing Irish cinema through his production company. His Dahmer remains an interesting footnote, proof that even early in his career, Under Siege remains a quintessential 90s action film, but its true legacy lies in the fascinating, often tragic stories of its cast. 3 decades later, their lives reflect Hollywood's unpredictable nature, where meteoric rises can lead to heartbreaking falls, and where even brief moments on screen can define entire careers. For some, like Tommy Lee Jones and Cole Meany, the film was merely a stepping stone to greater success. Jones leveraged his villainous turn into an Oscar-winning career, while Meany became one of cinema's most reliable character actors. Others, like Dale Dye, transformed their Hollywood experience into behind-the-scenes influence, reshaping how war stories are told on screen. Yet for too many, Under Siege marked either the beginning or the end of a difficult journey. Steven Seagal's career imploded under the weight of his ego and scandals, while Gary Busey's brilliance was overshadowed by personal demons. David McKnight and Patrick O'Neill, talented but under-recognized, faced the industry's harsh reality that not every great performance leads to lasting fame. And for Bernie Casey, the film became part of a multifaceted legacy that stretched far beyond acting. The cast's diverging paths ask uncomfortable questions about fame, mental health, and the cost of entertainment. Why do some thrive while others self-destruct? Why are certain actors forgotten despite their talent? Under Siege offers no easy answers, only reminders that behind every iconic movie moment are real people navigating an unforgiving business. Today, rewatching the film feels like opening a time capsule, not just of 90s action cinema, but the lives it changed. Some stars are gone, some reinvented themselves, and a few are still fighting their battles away from the spotlight. Their stories, much like the film itself, are equal parts thrilling, tragic, and unforgettable. As the credits roll, one truth remains. In Hollywood, survival is the greatest action sequence of all.